Ah, yes, another Sunday and another day for me to rant. And this time, um, I'm probably going to crack myself off because I am thinking about how to put this together. Because every time I open this game right here, Arknight, I have some skill issue. I'm not gonna lie. I think in my life I've maybe restarted 3 times because I couldn't beat this stage because I was just being dumb as shit, and I didn't know what Arknight was really about. I did not know the mechanics and stuff that well. And recently I was thinking to myself, Arknights has so many operators and you can like make a full squad, right? And I thought, most gacha you have a general loadout. But in Arknight you don't really have a general loadout because you actually clear the stage by taking in operators that has a specialized station against the enemy. But Arknights, um, well, here's the thing. Arknights basically just says you go into a stage and you've never tried it, so you don't know the enemy. Here you go, good luck. So that's why they have like a thing called practice and just go in with a, I guess, general loadout and see what the fuck is going to happen. Um, I really don't know what to expect of this. Honestly, I honestly thought to myself, it's like, are they trying to overcomplicate the game? But the more I look at it, the more my view changes because in my lifetime, honestly, right now, I never considered myself a gacha gamer. Honestly, if I gonna say this, I'm probably going to be flamed for, but my hot take is that Genshin and Wuthering Waves, those type of games, are not fully gacha. And I think that like Arknight is one of the prime example of being a actual gacha game. I also think that Battlecats is an actual gacha game, but let's let take this into a further discussion because it wouldn't be fun if we had nothing to discuss about. And today we are going to talk about, well, beside my skill issue in this game, we are going to talk about what a gacha game actually should be or is meant for. A opinion about what makes a gacha game actually a gacha game. Um, because of this game I just played, I honestly think I'm probably just a gacha tourist. I don't know gacha that well. I don't know what to expect, but to me, I think a gacha game is just a random ass game with, of course, first of all, you have gacha. Second of all, you have some kind of currency to farm anything, literally anything. And so, a gacha game to me is a game that you just log in once or twice a day and play for like a couple of minutes, not for hours. Honestly, if you play Genshin, you probably already noticed you are traveling all the time. It would be like I doubt it would be called a gacha. I honestly think more it's a open world RPG. It's more of a open world RPG than a real gacha game. And here's the thing. These days, so many games are going through a term of gacha or something like they already established an image of being something, and people are like, I don't know, always say, oh, gotcha this, gotcha that, like gotcha is bad or gotcha or they like gotcha games, and then they say they like Genshin Impact for being a gotcha game, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's you, if you like Genshin Impact, you either really like the characters or the story or like the world how it's built, right? That's my take for those things anyway. But yeah, I'm just having some skill issue and thinking about how these games do this because, for example, the same issue I also have with Battle Cats, for example, because Battle Cats is a game that you go into a stage and you just play the stage and see the enemy for yourself. For example, if there suddenly is a metal enemy and you don't have a unit that can do crit, uh, then yeah, it is kind of fucked. It is also why people standardly make a general loadout with a critter, at least one critter, and one unit that can deal with traded enemies or tradeless enemies. And usually all rounders, for example, are units who deal a lot of damage, or units that can have a special niche in something that's that's always for general use. For example, the meat shields. Like you always have them because they can tank for your backliners or something like that, right? So my view has changed quite a lot while trying to figure out what a general loadout is in this game, and honestly I've been having so much issue with it lately because I always think, oh yeah, I need some, so what I think in this game, you need some healers, you need some good damage, but sometimes you don't even want snipers in the stage, and sometimes you don't even want like any vanguard or any defender in a stage, because it's way better to have like someone who can deal more damage than someone who can block. Yeah, so that's my take on that stuff. And let's go over to segue why I think that Arknight and Battlecats are way better example of being a gacha than rather Genshin and Wuthering Waves. Uh, what I think, in my opinion, is that first of all, like I said before, a gacha game is just a game that you log in once in a while and play it for like a couple of minutes. You don't like spend hours in a game like Ark Knight. There's no fucking way that you can play this game more than 2 hours. It's physically impossible unless you just started your account. That's the moment that you level up a lot and you can grind a lot because they like refresh your sanity. But for example, if we take Battle Cats, they also have a stamina system, and you have to grind some medals, you have to get some achievements in order to get more stamina or more time playing a stage. Or some stages are rather expensive, more expensive stamina. For example, in the later stages you go, the more stamina it's gonna cost to play. Because that's just how it is, or there's some special boss stages. So, in other words, a gacha game is a part-time game that you just play for a couple of minutes or maybe an hour maximum. That's about it. And I do think that Arknights and, well, honestly, most of the gacha games actually do fit the description. But if you look at a lot of gacha games these days, they will always say, oh yeah, Genshin is gacha, Wuthering Waves is gacha. And honestly, I'm starting to see why a gacha community is getting ticked off at those people. Because I myself consider now not a gacha game, I consider myself now a gacha tourist. Because I finally figured out that there is like a actual difference between a real gacha and just a random ass gacha with a ton of FOMO trying to get you back in. Because what Arknight doesn't force you is to play every day. Honestly, if you just want a character, okay, I guess you have to grind for that. It's fine, sure. But for example, if you play Genshin, you always fear of missing out on something. For example, an event is going on that gives you a lot of skin, a lot of currency, and they never return with the same stuff. Like, those things will never become free ever again. Meanwhile, Arknights, what do? They make like a rerun right here. Like, it's all fucking free. You can like go back in there and get the rewards too. Like, do you understand now why I don't think that Genshin is gacha anymore? At least that's my perspective. Of course, in a sense, if we talk about gacha and game having a gacha being gacha, sure, Genshin is gacha. But in terms of a real gacha, I don't think Genshin is a real gacha because you have so many quests that you can do. They are trying to keep you locked in and they try to keep you inside the game. And that's how I view Genshin now. It's not a game that you just go in and enjoy anymore. It's a game that it feels like a chore. And that's also a reason why I don't want to play Genshin anymore. And honestly, it's too much of a FOMO to try to like keep you track in. So if you are a gacha gamer, then I think usually gacha games play a lot of gacha games at the same time. And I think like I only play a couple. Like I do play some Arknight, I do play some Epic 7, I do play some Battle Cats, but that's about it. Like gacha games probably have like 5 or so gacha games, you know? Like those are massive. I've never heard of any other gacha games besides those I just announced, just so you know. So that's why I would say the word gacha is so broad nowadays that it's probably not even a real term anymore to my view. To my view, if a game is labeling itself as a gacha, that's already something that we should consider, is it a gacha or not, because hey, something like Genshin just came out, something like Infinity Nikki came out, something like Solo Leveling came out. Yeah, what is now considered a gacha? I don't know anymore. I'm confused as shit. But anyway, it's a small discussion, it's a small topic, it's a small skill issue too on my side right here. But I do think that I want to see what people think about gacha right now, because it's bigger than ever, yet it's so small, yet it's so niche, yet it is something that I don't think that it should be right now. I think that most people who play Genshin and Runaway shouldn't call themselves a gacha gamer. I think they should just be gacha tourists if they don't play multiple gacha at once. Because it is honestly, I I doubt those are gacha, but I will say Honkai Star Rail. Do think that is a real gacha though, even though there are some quests around, even though they are like some FOMO implements to get you back in. I do think that Honkai Star Rail is a real gacha because it just makes you play the game, and after a while you cannot play the game anymore, like an hour or so maybe. If you are on a story quest, yeah, it can maybe take longer, but it will not force you to play the game for like 5 hours straight. Like when I play Wuthering Waves on Genshin, sometimes I have to sit there, go through the story, and I liked reading some stories. And then 6 hours has passed. You've just played a gacha game for 6 hours. Is that really a gacha game now? Come on, dude. That's probably not even fit to be defined as a gacha, in my opinion. So there you go, guys. It's a very small discussion. What do you guys think about gacha games? What do you guys think about Genshin being called gacha? And what, in your own terms, do you think is a gacha? Well, thank you for, well, either listening to me or putting down your opinions right down in the comment. I'll be very happy to see some nice discussion about this stuff, because I'm getting very confused these days, and I just want to know some people's opinions. I just want to see if we can have some nice discussion about this. Anyways, have fun, guys. Enjoy your day.